Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to another episode of Mastering Maize and Blue. Um, for those of you who don't know, this is just a podcast here to help incoming new students or freshmen learn more about the resources we have in and around the university. So today we're going to be talking about the Office of Financial Aid. I'll introduce myself. My name is Jenna. I'm majoring in mechanical engineering. I'm going to be a junior in the fall. I'm a part of SWE, which stands for the Society of Women's Engineers, Talent Gateway, and I'm an orientation leader. My favorite food are veggie grape leaves, and I'll let Alexia introduce herself.
Hi everyone, my name is Alexia. I'm going to be a sophomore in the fall. My major is biological sciences and I'm in the pre-med track and I'm an orientation leader and my favorite sport is tennis. And today who we have with you is Casey Herman. She is a student advisor in the Office of Financial Aid. So Casey, I'll let you introduce yourself to our guests.
Hello, everybody. My name's Casey. I work at the Office of Financial Aid at U of M Dearborn. A fun fact about myself, my bachelor's degree is in history from U of M Ann Arbor, and my master's degree is in international relations from Richmond University, the American University in London. I'm happy to be with you guys.
Thank you, Casey. And all right, let's get into the questions we have for you today. So our first question for you is, what is your favorite part about U of M Dearborn?
Definitely my favorite part about U of M Dearborn is the diverse community, both of student body and staff and faculty. One of the commitments of U of M in general, but specifically Dearborn, is diversity, equity, and inclusion. I try to include those goals and vision in everything I do as a staff member here.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, that's kind of my favorite part about U of M Dearborn as well, is like the diversity and meeting different people around campus. I would say that's my favorite part as well. Okay, we can go into our next question. So how would you describe the campus and the community?
Definitely, as my favorite way to describe it, is non-traditional. That's one of my most exciting things about Dearborn, is that it's not the traditional four-year school that you would see if you were in Ann Arbor. So there's a lot, it's a smaller campus, and I would describe the community as here to help. The thing about that I love working about here is definitely that we're able to interact one-on-one with the community and with the students. Sometimes that includes reaching out directly to advisors or to professors on behalf of the student. And that's something that I think you don't really get at a bigger university that you can definitely take advantage of here.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Dearborn is definitely a smaller campus and people there are very welcoming and nice. So yeah, I definitely agree with you on
Yeah,
that.
and you can definitely take advantage of the fact that it's a smaller campus because it's easier to meet people and it's easier to get help, and everyone's so helpful. So I agree with you on that.
Moving on, what are some of your main responsibilities?
Yeah, so everyone knows that the FAFSA needs to be completed every year. That's the free application for federal student aid. One of my biggest responsibilities is processing those applications for students to make sure that they're eligible for all of the financial aid that they can get. Another thing that I do is I handle special circumstance requests. So, for example, if your family is going through a financial hardship, reach out to us immediately and let us know, and we can let you know what kind of documentation we might need to make some changes to your needs analysis on the FAFSA. Another thing that I do in the Office of Financial Aid is I help students maintain their satisfactory academic progress. You can learn more about what that means on our website, but basically I kind of walk students through the process of appealing for additional eligibility if they fail to meet those standards. But one of the biggest things that I do is I talk one-on-one with students. That can look like in person, well, not in person yet, but on video advising appointments. We also schedule outgoing calls. So hopefully we'll be in person soon. But in the meantime, I think that U of M Dearborn does a great job of utilizing the technology that we have to keep our performance and our service accessible.
That seems like a lot, so we appreciate all that you do. And I have scheduled a couple, ever since the pandemic, I have been able to schedule a couple Zoom calls, and I was able to speak one-on-one with advisors. So definitely, if you're a student listening to this and you need to speak with an advisor, I would definitely schedule a Zoom call so you could have a one-on-one. All right, let's head into our next question, which is, what is your favorite part about your job?
Yeah, as I mentioned in response to the last question, my favorite part is talking with students. I know that financial aid can be kind of scary. It's a big thing, and it's really important to every student's academic career. So I don't want it to be disheartening or scary or, prevent them from going through the process. I would rather walk each of you through exactly what you need to do, and make sure it's seen through to the end. The thing that I love about my job is that no student is exactly the same as another student. So there's no financial situation that looks exactly like another. So one of the things that I do is I kind of piece out based on the tax information we receive and other household information and lifestyle, like marital status and things like that. We kind of create a picture of the financial situation, and then that, along with metrics that are very complicated and related to federal regulations, determine eligibility for financial aid. So really my favorite part about my job is speaking to individuals and getting their individual circumstances and making sure that that's reflected in the numbers that they have submitted on their FAFSA.
It's great to hear that from you. Moving on, who is available for students if they need assistance with filling out their FAFSA application for the first time?
Yeah, whether it's the first time or the fourth time they're filling out their FAFSA, they can always reach out to us. You can join the Zoom room, or you can, like I said, schedule us to call you. And then you also have the access of studentaid.gov. This is a really useful resource. They have FAQs, they have an online help assistant that you can chat with if you have questions about your FAFSA. Often that's going to be the first resource I would recommend. But obviously, if you are reaching out to us and you have a question about the FAFSA first time or last time you're filling it out, let us know. We can always help you.
Okay, that's awesome. I remember when I was a freshman and I had to fill out the FAFSA, I was so confused. And also there's a lot of misconception. People think if they're not going to take out loans or they don't think they're eligible for aid, they just automatically think, I don't have to fill out the FAFSA. And I remember speaking with the Office of Financial Aid, and they were like, no matter what your circumstances are, you should fill out the FAFSA. Every student needs to fill out the FAFSA. And I remember going in person and meeting with an advisor. I actually went with my parents, and the office helped us fill out my FAFSA for the first time. So speaking about going in person, our next question is, will the Office of Financial Aid offer in-person meetings this fall? If not, how else could students meet with a financial aid advisor? And I know we already talked about this a little bit, but
our fingers are crossed that we will be open for in-person advising in the fall. We don't have anything set in stone in terms of reopening dates yet, but keep your ears and eyes posted for those updates. The anticipation is that we will have at least limited advising hours to be in person in the fall term. If that doesn't pan out, if something unexpected happens, of course, we will continue to have the Zoom room, which is staffed by our student workers. Or you can go to the contact page website on our Office of Financial Aid website, and you can click meet with a financial aid counselor. And that's going to take you to a scheduler that will allow you to schedule a time for one of us, a staff member, to call you and discuss your situation. So either of those options are good. The other thing I would want to mention is that if you're looking at that scheduler and it's taking you a week or two out, send us an email instead. We're often really responsive over email within 1 or 2 days. And that way you can get your questions answered if you can't schedule a phone call with us right away.
Yeah, hopefully you'll be at campus in the fall. Moving on. So how can students apply for loans or figure out if they're eligible for loans?
Yeah, so there's a couple different types of loans. There's the direct loans that students are eligible for themselves. That application is the FAFSA. And then there's something called a plus loan. So for graduate students, that's a grad plus loan. For undergraduate dependent students, that is a parent plus loan. But if the plus loan is not an option, then there are also alternative loans. Those are private student loans that usually require either a cosigner and or a credit check. You can start your loan search at our website, types of aid and then loans. Or of course, you can go to the studentaid.gov website and learn all about the direct loan and plus loan options there.
Okay, that's really good information. And every student's circumstances, and we said this earlier, is different. So everyone might be eligible for a different loan. Some people aren't eligible for loans. So I would definitely look into that if you have questions. So next up, where can students find tuition deadlines and what are the consequences of paying your tuition late?
Absolutely. They can find the tuition deadlines on the student accounts website. Those will be posted and published for every term. Consequences of paying tuition late, as far as the Office of Financial Aid is concerned, is there are late fees that the Student Accounts Office will post to your balance. And unfortunately, financial aid is not able to pay those late fees. And they do accrue, I believe, every month, $30. So you'll want to make sure that your tuition is paid or that financial aid is ready to pay your tuition by the deadline. If not, you will accrue those late fees, which cannot be paid by financial aid if it does come in later.
Yeah, that's definitely good to know. Moving on to the next question we have for you. If someone doesn't apply for financial aid this year, will that affect their eligibility for financial aid in subsequent years?
Short answer is no. Every year we look at a different FAFSA. So the FAFSA looks at 2 years prior's tax information. So for example, for the 21-22 academic year, we're looking at 2019 tax information. So say you don't file a FAFSA for 21-22, it does not prevent you from filing a FAFSA for the following academic year and then being eligible for aid in that year.
So you have to apply for FAFSA every single year?
Every year on October 1st specifically is when the FAFSA becomes available.
Okay, that's good to know.
And when does it close? I know it becomes available in the fall, and then when's the deadline?
The deadline is technically June 30th of the academic year for which you're applying. However, we definitely recommend doing everything in October.
Okay, awesome. And our next question is about something that is fairly new, but how can students learn more about the Go Blue Guarantee?
Absolutely. The Go Blue Guarantee is a hot button issue right now. We have a frequently asked questions page posted. I believe it's just umich.edu/Go Blue Guarantee. And the coolest thing about this is that everyone is automatically considered for eligibility for the Go Blue Guarantee. There is no special application for it. So file your FAFSA and you'll be considered if you're an in-state student. And another thing, it doesn't do the regular needs analysis that the FAFSA and federal aid does. It's based on assets and income specifically, not the whole federal regulated needs analysis calculation that I was mentioning before. It's very complicated. So definitely file the FAFSA. Even if you think you might not be eligible for anything, it's worth it to get it in.
That's good to know. Moving on, what advice would you give a new U of M Dearborn student?
Absolutely. I think this podcast is a great opportunity for the students to start learning about the resources available on campus. And my advice would be to utilize those resources. We're here for you. We are here and we wouldn't be here without you. So we want to make every student's academic career as successful as possible. So my advice would be reach out to us and definitely just keep that line of communication open between advisors, professors, orientation leaders, and everyone who's helping you through this process. We're here to help.
Yeah, that was a great answer. You gave us some great information in this podcast. So the last thing I have for you is, what are some fun facts about you?
Fun fact about me, I used to work over in Ann Arbor at U of M in the Office of Financial Aid. So one thing that I kind of bring with me over here is it's a totally different feel on a small campus. So take advantage of that. I know that I went to U of M Ann Arbor for my undergrad, and then I went to a very small school in London for my master's. So the two kind of different experiences, I think, bring together a little bit of a common occurrence between me and the students here at Dearborn. So if anyone would like to reach out to me directly, feel free. You can also just email Ask OFA, and we'll be right with you as soon as we can.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Of
And
Thank you,
course.
Casey.
And you already talked about emailing the OFA email we have right here, this contact information. This is Casey's email if you'd like to contact her directly. And then this is the Office of Financial Aid's general email if you have any questions for them. And then the website we have listed is the Office of Financial Aid website at U of M Dearborn. Just gives you general information if you ever have any questions.
Wrapping up the episode, there are more Mastering Mason Blue episodes. If you found this was helpful for you, there's going to be more episodes throughout the summer, so you can keep in touch with that. You can visit uvmdearborn.edu Mastering Mason Blue for previous and future episodes.
Yay.
Thank you,
Thank
Casey.
you so much, Casey.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Bye.